So now we have completed with basic salary and allowances. Now before moving on to perquisite, let's start with provident fund. I forgot to write here provident fund. Please make a note over here. Provident fund. I am teaching in this manner only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's it. So I have taught you all allowances. Now the part is for provident fund. So write heading provident fund. What is provident fund? Let's start. Before starting provident fund, we should know what is salary for provident fund. Like for HRS, salary was basic allowances plus dearness allowances plus turnover commission. For this provident fund, salary is basic salary plus dearness allowances. R DA means dearness allowances recognized. R plus turnover commission. Turnover commission. Okay. So now let's draw a particulars. Statutory provident fund, recognized provident fund, and last unrecognized. PF. Please make a box like this. First, if employees contribution to statutory provident fund, to recognized provident fund, to unrecognized provident fund, how to calculate it? ATC exempt, unrecognized no ATC. Okay, no ATC. Employers contribution to statutory provident fund, it is fully exempt. To recognized provident fund is exempt up to 12% of salary. So now you know why calculation of salary is important. About 12%, that is just 15% of salary is provided for recognized provident fund. So 12% will be exempt, but about 12, that is 3% of salary will be taxable as recognized provident fund, and it will be added in the calculation of gross total income. Okay, I hope you all understanding it. And employers contribution to unrecognized provident fund is fully exempt. Third, interest on employers contribution, fully exempt for statutory provident fund. For recognized provident fund, it is exempt up to, just underline this words, up to 9.5% rate, up to 9.5% rate. Okay, if interest rate is above 9.5%, then the above more than 9.5, that is if 10%, then 0.5% rate will be added as recognized provident fund interest in the computation of the gross total gross salary. Okay, and for unrecognized provident fund, it is fully exempt. If lump sum received from statutory provident fund, it is exempt under section 10 subsection 11. Recognized is also exempt under section 10 subsection 12. but for unrecognized it is taxable. How taxable? I'll be showing it over here. Unrecognized provident fund taxable in part. How? We'll draw a chart for this first. Okay. Employee contribution. If lump sum is received and employee's contribution is there in unrecognized provident fund, then ignore. If employer's contribution, then it will form part of income from salary. It will be added in the it will be added here, provident fund. If interest on employees contribution, interest on employees contribution, then income from other sources, no exemption, only income from other sources. Interest on employers contribution, then income from salary. IFS stands for income from salary, IFOS stands for income from other sources. I hope this is quite clear to you all. So now let's interpret the entire table. Let's start. Provident fund, salary is required for this purpose, only this purpose. So salary is equal to basic salary plus dearness allowances. Recognized or not recognized, I will be teaching you all how to understand that while solving the practice manual sums. So don't worry. Turnover commission. So salary is equal to basic salary plus dearness allowances plus turnover commission. How to read? If provident fund in provident fund, if employees contribution is done in statutory provident fund, then it is exempt under section 80C, as I have taught you all under deduction under chapter 6A. And employees contribution to recognized provident fund, it is also allowed as deduction under chapter 6A under section 80C, exempt. Under unrecognized provident fund, if employees contribution to unrecognized provident fund, then no 80C. If employers contribution to statutory provident fund, then it is fully exempt. If employers contribution to the recognized provident fund, then it is exempt up to 12% of salary. That is, more than 12% of salary will be added to the provident fund for the computation of gross total salary. I hope you all are understanding what it is. And employers contribution to unrecognized provident fund is fully exempt. Interest on employers contribution to statutory provident fund is fully taxable. Interest on employers contribution to recognized provident fund is exempt up to 9.5%. Up to similarly from 12% of salary, there is similarly for exempt up to 9.5%. Above that, it will be added in provident fund, that is interest on provident fund for the computation of gross total salary. Interest on employees contribution to the unrecognized provident fund is fully exempt. It is fully exempt. But finally, when lump sum is received for unrecognized provident fund, it is taxable in this part. I hope you all are understanding it. Lump sum received exempt under section 10 subsection 11. Lump sum received from recognized provident fund, then exempt under section 10 subsection 12. If lump sum received from unrecognized provident fund, it is taxable in this manner. Unrecognized provident fund taxable in parts. Employees contribution, then ignore. Employers contribution, income from salary. Interest on employees contribution, income from other sources. Interest on employers contribution, income from salary. This much. I want to give you all a note. It will form part of the theory. In case of recognized provident fund, RPF, SPF, URPF, unrecognized provident fund. If you want, you can write these acronyms above this. In case of RPF, if employee cease his employment before 5 years then any exemption allowed earlier will be taken back. I hope this is quite clear to you. So please start copying. Pause the video and start copying. I hope you all have copied. Please pause the video and copy. I hope you all have copied. So now we have completed basic salary, we have completed with allowances, provident fund. Next will not be on perquisite, next will be on bonus, advance salary and arrears of salary. Perquisite will be later, then next will be bonus, advance salary, arrears of salary, then gratuity, pension, leave salary, retrenched compensation, voluntary compensation, and after that will come on to perquisite. Okay, so now we have completed for time being 3. Remaining videos will be on the remaining part.